For decades, three companies have controlled almost the entire global market for computer memory: Samsung, SK hynix, and Micron. Their chips sit inside smartphones, laptops, gaming computers, servers, and artificial intelligence data centers. Now, a Chinese manufacturer founded only 10 years ago is preparing an expansion that could change that balance. Kingston Memory Technologies, better known as CXMT, is expected to add roughly 85,000 wafer starts per month of new DRAM manufacturing capacity during 2026. Samsung is expected to add around 15,000. That means CXMT could install more than 5 times as much new wafer capacity as Samsung this year, not 5 times as much total production. Samsung remains far larger, but in terms of new capacity being added during 2026, China's leading DRAM producer is moving faster, and CXMT is preparing to raise another 29.5 billion yuan, approximately $4.3 billion, through one of the largest technology IPOs ever attempted on Shanghai's star market. The money is expected to support production expansion, research, and the development of more advanced DRAM, including memory designed for artificial intelligence. This is arriving at an extraordinary moment. AI data centers are consuming memory faster than manufacturers can comfortably supply it. Memory prices have risen. Samsung, SK hynix, and Micron are earning enormous profits, and CXMT's revenue reportedly increased more than 7-fold in the first quarter of 2026. But rapid expansion does not automatically make CXMT a technological equal to Samsung. The Chinese company is still behind in advanced high-bandwidth memory. Its manufacturing efficiency, product mix, and total output remain smaller, and increasing wafer capacity during a memory shortage can be highly profitable, or extremely dangerous if demand weakens before the new factories are ready. So is CXMT becoming a genuine fourth global memory giant, or is it expanding at the most expensive point in a historically unstable industry? Why memory has become the new AI bottleneck? When people discuss artificial intelligence, most attention goes to processors. NVIDIA GPUs, custom accelerators, massive clusters filled with computing power. But a processor is useful only when it can receive data quickly enough. Every AI accelerator needs memory to hold model weights, temporary calculations, instructions, and the information moving between layers of a neural network. If memory cannot deliver that data fast enough, the expensive processor waits. That waiting time is one reason memory bandwidth has become so important. Traditional DRAM serves as the working memory inside computers. It stores information that processors need immediately. Unlike an SSD, DRAM is extremely fast, but it loses its contents when power is removed. A modern server may contain hundreds of gigabytes or several terabytes of DRAM. An AI cluster can contain thousands of servers. Multiply that memory across an entire data center, and demand becomes enormous. AI is also increasing demand for a specialized form of DRAM called high bandwidth memory, or HBM. HBM stacks multiple memory dies vertically and places them close to an AI processor. Thousands of tiny connections move data between the layers and the processor at extremely high speed. But HBM is difficult to manufacture. It requires advanced DRAM dies, precise stacking, specialized packaging, and strong control over heat and yield. Producing more HBM can also consume manufacturing capacity that could otherwise make conventional server, smartphone, or computer memory. This creates pressure across the entire market. As the established manufacturers redirect advanced production toward profitable AI products, supplies of standard DRAM can tighten. That is the opening CXMT is trying to exploit. The Chinese company that appeared almost from nowhere. CXMT was established in 2016. That makes it extremely young compared with its major competitors. Samsung has manufactured semiconductors for decades. SK hynix traces its history through several older Korean memory companies. Micron was founded in the 1970s. DRAM is one of the hardest semiconductor markets to enter. Each memory cell must store a reliable electrical charge while occupying as little silicon as possible. Factories must produce enormous volumes because memory is usually sold as a standardized product. A small difference in manufacturing yield can determine whether a company makes money or loses billions. CXMT initially focused on providing China with a domestic source of conventional DRAM. Its early products trailed the leading manufacturers in density, power efficiency, and process technology. But the company continued expanding. It introduced newer generations of DDR memory for computers and servers. It moved into low-power LPDD, our products used in mobile devices. And it gradually increased production inside large 300mm wafer fabrication plants. By the fourth quarter of 2025, estimates placed CXMT at nearly 8% of global DRAM revenue. In the first quarter of 2026, Counterpoint estimated its share at approximately 8%. Samsung remained the leader with around 38%. SK hynix held close to 29%, while Micron remained another major supplier. CXMT was still far behind the top three, but it had clearly separated itself from the industry's smaller manufacturers and established itself as the world's fourth largest DRAM supplier. The gap remains large. The direction is what matters. What 85,000 wafers per month really means. Semiconductor manufacturing capacity is often measured in wafer starts per month. A wafer start occurs when a blank silicon wafer begins its journey through the fabrication process. Each wafer passes through hundreds or sometimes thousands of manufacturing steps. Thin films are deposited, patterns are printed, materials are etched away, ions are implanted, connections are formed, the wafer is cleaned, measured, and inspected repeatedly. Depending on the chip and process, completing one wafer can take several months. After fabrication, the wafer contains many individual dies. Those dies are tested, cut apart, and packaged into usable memory chips. When analysts say CXMT may add approximately 85,000 wafer starts per month during 2026, they do not mean the company will manufacture only 85,000 wafers during the year. They mean its factories may gain the ability to begin processing roughly 85,000 additional wafers every month once that capacity is operational. That could represent hundreds of millions of additional memory dies over time, depending on die size, process technology, and manufacturing yield. Samsung's estimated addition of around 15,000 wafer starts per month is much smaller, but the comparison needs context. Samsung already operates an enormous installed manufacturing base. It does not need to add as much conventional DRAM capacity to remain larger than CXMT. Samsung is also spending heavily on process upgrades, HBM, advanced packaging, and new facilities whose full capacity may arrive in later years. A company can increase memory output without adding an equal number of wafers. Moving to a more advanced process can place more memory bits on each wafer. Improving yield allows more usable chips to leave the same production line. Changing the product mix can also dramatically alter revenue. So CXMT's 85,000 versus 15,000 comparison is powerful, but it is not a complete measurement of who will produce the most memory. It shows aggression, it does not yet show leadership. Why CXMT is expanding right now? Memory manufacturers have lived through repeated cycles of shortage and oversupply. When demand rises, prices increase. Manufacturers earn large profits and build new capacity. But semiconductor factories take years to construct and equip. By the time production begins, demand may have weakened. Several manufacturers can then bring new supply online at the same time. Prices collapse, profits disappear, investment slows. Then demand eventually recovers and the cycle begins again. AI is making the current cycle unusual. Memory suppliers believe demand from data centers may remain strong for longer than previous consumer electronics booms. Large cloud companies are building enormous AI clusters. Each new generation of accelerator uses more memory. Models are becoming larger. Inference workloads are spreading into more services. Micron has said it expects tight memory supplies to continue through at least 2027. Major manufacturers are signing longer-term agreements with customers that include deposits, minimum purchases, and pricing protections. CXMT is entering this market while prices are high and supply is limited. Its first quarter 2026 revenue reached approximately 50.8 billion yuan, representing a year-over-year increase of more than 700%. The company moved from losses into substantial profitability. Part of that improvement came from increased shipments, part came from better products, but a major factor was the sharp rise in global memory prices. That financial improvement makes an IPO much easier to sell. Investors are no longer being asked to fund only a long-term semiconductor ambition. They are being shown a company generating large revenue during one of the strongest memory markets in history. What the $4.3 billion IPO could fund CXMT plans to raise 29.5 billion yuan through its Shanghai listing. That equals roughly $4.3 billion. The offering would be the largest mainland Chinese IPO of 2026 and the second largest listing in the history of Shanghai's technology-focused star market. For a semiconductor company, $4.3 billion is significant, but it is not unlimited. A modern memory fabrication plant can cost tens of billions of dollars when buildings, cleanrooms, lithography systems, deposition tools, etching equipment, testing systems, and supporting infrastructure are included. CXMT is therefore not building its entire expansion with IPO money alone. The company already has factories, investors, financing, and other sources of capital. The IPO adds another pool of funding. According to its listing plans, the proceeds are intended for manufacturing upgrades, research and development, process improvement, and product expansion. That last category may be the most important. Standard DDR and LPDDR products helped CXMT establish volume. HBM could determine whether it becomes strategically important to the AI market. The HBM gap. CXMT's biggest weakness is not basic DRAM capacity. It is advanced memory. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron are already producing high-bandwidth memory for leading AI accelerators. SK Hynix became especially successful by investing early in HBM and building a strong relationship with NVIDIA. HBM carries higher margins than ordinary memory, but it also demands better technology. The DRAM dies must be manufactured efficiently. The dies must be thinned. Tiny vertical connections called through-silicon vias must pass signals through the stack. Multiple dies must be aligned and bonded. The final package must remain reliable while transferring enormous amounts of data and operating beside a hot AI processor. One defective die can damage the value of an entire stack. CXMT is investing in an HBM packaging facility in Shanghai and has targeted production by the end of 2026. But starting production is not the same as reaching high-volume manufacturing. It must demonstrate acceptable yields. It must qualify its products with accelerator designers. It must prove long-term reliability. And it must catch competitors that are already moving toward newer HBM generations. This means CXMT's immediate expansion will probably have a larger impact on standard DRAM than on the most advanced AI memory. It may pressure prices in consumer, mobile, and server memory before it seriously threatens SK Hynix in premium HBM. Could CXMT actually hurt Samsung? Samsung is not facing an immediate collapse. It remains the largest DRAM supplier by revenue. It has far more manufacturing experience. It operates advanced process technology, major research facilities, and a global customer network. It also produces NAND flash, processors, image sensors, displays, and complete electronic products. CXMT is much more concentrated, but that concentration can become an advantage. CXMT can focus capital and engineering effort on DRAM. It can compete aggressively in the Chinese market. And it can supply domestic computer, smartphone, server, and accelerator manufacturers that want alternatives to foreign memory. CXMT does not need to defeat Samsung worldwide to create pressure. It only needs to capture enough volume to affect industry supply. Memory products are highly sensitive to small differences between demand and production. If the world needs 100 units of DRAM and manufacturers produce 98, prices can rise quickly. If they produce 105, prices can collapse. An extra few percentage points of supply can change profitability for every company in the market. SemiAnalysis expects the DRAM market to remain undersupplied even after accounting for CXMT's expansion. But the expected shortage does not last forever. Capacity being installed now may influence prices in 2027 and 2028. If AI demand continues rising, the new supply could be absorbed. If AI investment slows, CXMT's expansion could arrive just as the market becomes oversupplied. What this could mean for consumers. For buyers of computers, servers, and smartphones, more competition is generally positive. Additional supply can reduce shortages. It can provide device manufacturers with more negotiating power. It may eventually lower the price of DDR5 modules, laptop memory, and server DRAM. CXMT manufactured chips have already appeared in memory products sold under recognizable international brands. That does not necessarily mean those brands have committed to CXMT for every model or every market. Memory module manufacturers frequently source chips from different suppliers depending on price, availability, and qualification. But it shows that CXMT is no longer restricted to experimental or purely domestic products. Its chips can enter commercial supply chains when they meet the required specifications. The question is whether the company can maintain performance and reliability while rapidly increasing output. Expanding too quickly can create yield problems. New production lines require trained workers. Equipment must be calibrated. Processes must remain consistent across multiple factories. A chip that works in one small production run must continue working when millions are produced every week. Scale exposes weaknesses that laboratory demonstrations can hide. The biggest risks. CXMT faces three major risks. The first is technology. Adding wafer capacity is valuable only if the products are competitive. A less advanced process may produce fewer memory bits per wafer and consume more power. That can make apparently large manufacturing capacity less productive than a smaller but more advanced factory. The second risk is the market cycle. CXMT is investing during a period of exceptional memory prices. Those prices helped create its recent profits. If supply catches demand and pricing falls, the financial picture could change rapidly. The third risk is execution. Semiconductor expansion is not simply a construction project. Factories need complex tools, materials, software, replacement parts, and skilled engineers. Any bottleneck can delay production, and advanced DRAM requires constant process improvement. Samsung, SK hynix, and Micron will not remain still while CXMT expands. They are investing in denser DRAM, more efficient manufacturing, and newer generations of HBM. CXMT is chasing moving targets. My take is that the 5x number is not proof that CXMT has overtaken Samsung, but it may be evidence of something more important. China is no longer treating domestic DRAM as a small backup industry. It is building for global scale. CXMT already holds a meaningful share of the market. Its revenue has accelerated. Its factories are expanding. Its IPO could provide another $4.3 billion for manufacturing and research, and it is beginning the difficult move from conventional memory toward HBM. Samsung remains larger. SK hynix remains stronger in high-end AI memory. Micron remains deeply connected to major American technology companies, but the memory industry may no longer be a permanent three-company market. CXMT is becoming a fourth participant capable of influencing supply, prices, and investment decisions. The most important test will not be how much money the IPO raises. It will be what comes out of the factories afterward. Can CXMT convert 85,000 additional monthly wafer starts into reliable competitive memory? Can it improve yields while increasing volume? Can it manufacture HBM at scale? And can it remain profitable when today's memory shortage eventually ends? If the answers are yes, Samsung, SK hynix, and Micron will face a competitor with domestic scale, strong financial backing, and one of the fastest capacity expansions in the industry. If the answers are no, CXMT could discover the same lesson that has punished memory manufacturers for decades. Building capacity is easy compared with filling it profitably. So what do you think? Is CXMT on its way to becoming the world's fourth true memory giant? Or is it expanding too aggressively during a temporary AI-driven shortage? Let me know your view in the comments, and subscribe to Eastern Engine for more grounded coverage of the chips, factories, and engineering breakthroughs changing the technology industry. Because China is not adding 5 times Samsung's total memory production, but it may be adding more than 5 times as much new wafer capacity this year. And in an industry where a small shift in supply can move the entire market, that difference could matter far more than it first appears.